Hey, I'm Tom Clark. I'm over here in the SPEC Mix booth, and I'm going to be right here with my partner, Will Scott, who's going to be with me by my side, not only today, but all day tomorrow as well. And Will, you have the dubious distinction of telling us all about what's going on here in the SPEC Mix booth with some new products. Tell us what's going on.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to be looking at several different products. Maybe what we'll do is we'll start with some of the tried and true tested products that we've had out for several years now.
Okay.
In fact, right behind you, you're going to see a manufactured stone wall that is stuck by our product called Adhere Veneer Mortar. So that's a mortar that you can use for a brown coat, for a scratch coat like you're seeing right here with these grooves. It can stick the stone, and it can even be used as a pointing mortar. It's really our first step into performance products.
You know, when I kind of look at this, I think of something that might be on the front of a home. As you see, you can use that. You see that nice stone look.
Sure, as the first product into the performance line, that's typically where you'll see this on a residential product or a project somewhere.
All right, let's move next door.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to beef it up, Tom, what you want to do is you want to get this. This is our polymer modified Adhere Veneer mortar. So that's a beefed up version, the next step up. What they do is they put a polymer additive in here to really increase the bond strength. Here's what we know for sure. The faster you can lay your units, the more money you can make. So you need a product that's going to stick very quickly and strong to the wall, and that's what this product does. It even passes our ASTM ANSI 118.4. That's a pretty big mark to hit.
Now, when you talk about a product like this, and you mentioned something that caught my ear, going as fast as you can, so less sag with that stone, and so boom, it'll stick and you can go and not worry about it.
So currently a lot of the masons using mortar out on residential jobs, they're using a Type S mortar, a pretty basic block laying mortar typically, and they'll try to richen it up a little bit by taking a little sand out. But what happens is when the sand in the material is actually critically responsible for bond strength. So as the weather comes in and water gets behind it and it freezes and thaws and freezes and thaws, it pops right off. And that's a problem not only for the safety of the people in the home, but for the contractor themselves. They're having to go back and back, right, to the same job to re-stick. It's costing them a fortune.
Right.
So they really need a product like this, like you said, with some anti-sag properties that allow it to stick very quickly to the stone. They can take their hand away much faster, more units laid.
I like it. All right, let's move on to our next panel right here.
So this is actually the same product. This is the Polymod. As you saw over here, this looks like a natural cut. It's kind of, again, it's a beefed up product from the regular Adhere Veneer.
Okay.
So since it's beefed up, it's able to hold a little bit more weight. This looks like a granite, a cut granite from what I can see. But you can tell these are thick bed mortars, right? This Polymod you can actually put on a finished concrete like this. The Adhere Veneer, if we float back over here, it actually needs to be laid on a scratch coat. So you see these grooves right here. The mortar that's going in a thick bed application is actually going to fit together, almost like fingers holding each other to make sure it makes one solid unit behind it.
Okay, but behind what we're talking about over here, a little bit thinner, goes on the flat surface, and it'll stick, no problem.
Absolutely, no problem. That's what it's designed for.
All right, let's go to our next panels over here. We're going to have everybody come over here. Now, as we start over on this side, we have some different products that we want to talk about for SPEC Mix. So let's start with this one first, with this wall.
What you're looking at right now is quite literally the Cadillac of all mortars right here. This is called XP500. It is so beefed up, it passes not only the ASTM 118.4 that we talked about, but also 118.15. That's a bar that is nearly unmeetable. So very, very impressive. A lot of the architects are leaning this way of speccing products like this, again, for safety, for speed, for quality, right? But this product right here, as you can see, it's able to go on this brown coat. Not only the brown coat, but it can actually be applied to the weather barriers as well. So you'll see this line right here where they actually have a rubberized weather barrier, and it's able to stick directly to it. Well, the purpose of this is to be able to lay thin stone or thin brick. It actually goes on thin, only about 1/8 of an inch from what you can see.
And there's not going to be any issue. And what about sag as well? That's going to hold, and you're good.
Again, this is the top tier product in the industry right now. So very high anti-sag properties, and because of that, it has such a high quality that we are actually able to give a 15 to a 25-year warranty.
Wow, that's a lot. That's good. You don't find that just every day.
No, sir.
Okay, so we're good. And now we have the XP400. Is this the best?
Not quite the best.
Okay.
This is actually one step down from the products we've seen before, the XP500.
Okay.
So the XP400, though, is very exciting because it's brand new to us.
All right.
It's a thin veneer adhesion mortar that comes with a 3- and 5-year warranty, depending on the substrate you put on it. It's got low sag. It's got very, very high bond. It passes ANSI 118.4. So this mortar is doing everything you need it to do. In fact, really what we saw in the market is that not every project calls for the cream of the crop mortar. Sometimes you just want a good quality product. So what we've done is we've taken that XP500, we've adjusted the sand some, changed up the admixtures in it a little bit, so you're still getting a premium product, but at a fraction of the price. So really, really excited to be able to make it more economical for these guys.
And I noticed something different. It's not on block or concrete. I got a backer board here.
That's exactly right. Some type of a cement board back here. And all you need, because this is a thin veneer, right? So all you need is that same 1/8 inch of a joint to be able to stick that back to the wall.
And you had just mentioned the sag. We're good with that. And it's going to hold. We don't have to worry about these pieces moving.
Critical for us to make sure our masons are getting as much stone laid at any given time they're working, right? That's how they make their money. So we made sure we had a product that it wouldn't take them very long to hold against the wall before it's completely stuck.
All right, so we had the XP500, we had the XP400, and then also we had the veneer over here as well, the thin veneer. So great products here. Stop by the SPEC Mix booth. You want to talk to the crew here and find out, hey, what might be right for you. All right, well, I'm going to run over here to Chris Dooley because I know he's got some seals. I'm going to come on over here. Chris, I like when I do that. Come on over here. We can start right over here to do that. All right, this is Chris Dooley. He is with SPEC Mix, and we're talking about sealants right now, and this is something important that you see on a lot of buildings. So tell us exactly what we've got here and where you would use it.
So what you got right here is you've got a silicone oxime. It's non-paintable. You would see that you could use this mortar joint to say storefront type applications, non-sag, custom colors. So right there, that's, as you can see, nice bead. There's backer rod behind.
So, I mean, I can get different kinds of colors to go in this depending on the project.
We can color match.
Okay. Yeah. All right. What do we have here next?
Over here, this is our hybrid product, non-sag, paintable in 2 hours. Obviously, it's on a block project. Again, custom color, comes in 4 sizes, 10-ounce cartridges, quart cartridges, 5-gallon, and sausages.
What are some of the benefits when you're using the sealant like this for projects?
Well, obviously the paintability, right? You paint in 2 hours, which is the biggest thing.
So in 2 hours, you're good to go, and you can cover it up.
Absolutely.
All right, and then over here we've got one more for brick as well.
Same thing, Hing. Hybrid, paintable in 2 hours on a brick application.
Now,
Custom
even
color.
though we've got 2 different sealants right here, don't we? But they look exactly the same, which is kind of interesting.
That is correct.
So even if you were going to do that on a project where you needed 2 different ones, you could still match it. And SPEC Mix, they've got any kind of color.
That is correct.
That you could
we
do,
can
they'll
match
be able to
any
match
color
it.
that they can give us.
Now that would be for the mortar and the brick too, right? They could match that color.
Exactly.
Which is something that's very unique.
And that's the benefit of this new launch here with the silicone and the hybrid. We can match any color.
And they'll be able to come over here. They can talk about. They could feel it if they want. I noticed you got a gun right here and actually
absolutely feel it, touch it.
So we're good. All right. Well, Chris, thank you very much.
Thanks,
we appreciate it. All right. So make sure you make your way over here to the SPEC Mix area. You've got a lot of stuff going on. The XP400, the XP500, and some really incredible sealants right here. Talk to Chris and his team. We'll be right back right after this.